With just 324 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 129.369. They're getting to grips with Willow Springs, Big Willow, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 129.470. Mr. Bang posted a 149.744 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Wayne Pearson posted 129.340 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Mr. Bang has a best lap time of 130.182. Wayne Pearson has put down a 129.340. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Ferrari F355 Challenge Evoluzione.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
It's a bit like looking for water in the outback. These drivers are searching for that sweet rhythm, where everything just clicks.
Spot on. It's that elusive flow state. When everything syncs up, the car, the track, the driver, that's when magic happens.
In these sessions, they're not just pushing the car's limits, but their own too. Testing their mettle, seeing how far they can go before the big dance.
Exactly. It's a mental game as much as a physical one. Balancing aggression with precision, daring with data. It's an art and a science.
With just 319 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Wayne Pearson crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 1:28.017. They're getting to grips with Willow Springs, Big Willow, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Mr. Bang's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 1:29.802. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Mike O'Hagan is on the outlap, not just warming up the tyres, but also warming up their instincts, getting that racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Mr. Bang has a best lap time of 1:29.802. And off goes Mike O'Hagan, easing into the rhythm of Willow Springs, Big Willow. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the senses, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
Mate, sometimes I reckon the pit wall looks like they're controlling a spaceship with all those dials and knobs.
You're not wrong. Each of those adjustments, from brake bias to differential settings, has a profound effect on car behavior. It's like tuning a guitar, but instead of strings, you're tweaking mechanical symphonies to get the car singing just right on the track.
So, for those tuning in and wondering what's the go with these practice sessions, well, it ain't just about flexing their engines. It's about synergy, mate. Getting the driver, the car, and the track to sing in harmony.
Couldn't have put it better. We liken it to rehearsing a dance. Every step, every turn must be practiced until it's second nature on the big stage.
There's the first flying lap for Mr. Bang, hitting 136.222. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Mike's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 126.627. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Mr. Bang has a best lap time of 129.802. Mike posted a 126.852 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Mr. Bang posted 131.751 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? With just 311 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. You know, mate, watching these practice sessions, you'd think the driver just jumps in and goes. But there's a heck of a lot more to it. Starting with that aero package, the balance between drag and downforce.
Oh, for sure. You tweak the front wing just a smidge, and you could have a totally different beast on your hands. Depending on the track, they might want more downforce for those tight corners or reduce it for the long straights to maximize speed.
It's all about finding that sweet spot during these sessions. Like tuning a didgeridoo, but way faster.
Haha, and a lot noisier. But you're right. In Indy, we fine-tune until it feels just right. Every lap here is a step towards perfection.
Alright, Mr. Bang has put down a 139.831. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Ferrari F355 Challenge Evoluzione.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Wayne Pearson crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 9:13.415. They're getting to grips with Willow Springs, Big Willow, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Mike's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:27.202. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Wayne Pearson's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 9:13.415. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
There's Simon Barnes, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The outlap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Willow Springs, Big Willow.
Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 1:28.017. Mr. Bang has a best lap time of 1:29.802. These practices, mate, they're like a kangaroo finding its best hop. Once you've got it, you're unstoppable.
Couldn't have put it better. Finding the perfect launch is all about repetition and adjustments.
Simon Barnes is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today a year ago. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Willow Springs, Big Willow.
There's the first flying lap for Rob, hitting 128.100. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
There goes Megasaurus 55, on their first dance with Willow Springs, Big Willow. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yep, and it's about syncing with the car too, making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
Rob posted a 126.686 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Mike posted 127.202 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Alright, Puppy Dog from Hell has put down a 133.863. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Ferrari F355 Challenge Evoluzione.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Mr. Bang's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 135.607. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Sounds like a dance move, but trust me, it's all car talk.
Haha, yeah, camber is the angle of the wheel relative to the rim. A bit of negative camber, where the top of the tire leans inwards, can give more grip in the corners. But too much and you're looking at premature wear on the inside of the tire. It's a balancing act, and each track requires its own setting.
You ever think about what's ticking inside a driver's noggin during these laps?
All the time. It's a mix of analyzing, strategizing, and adapting. Every corner, every straight is a puzzle, and they're trying to solve it at full speed.
Look at Simon Barnes taking it nice and easy, a smart move. Like a chess player contemplating the opening move, they're planning several steps ahead.
Spot on. They're mentally mapping each corner, each straight. It's not just about the car, it's about strategy and foresight.
Chris Jukes on the outlap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine. First impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
And there's Simon Barnes, easing out onto Willow Springs, Big Willow. It's like the first step on a long hike, finding your footing before you hit full stride.
Right, and every racer knows this outlap is precious. It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
With just 297 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Chris Duke is not hanging about, straight into the thick of it on this first flying lap. They're getting a real taste of the Ferrari F355 Challenge Evolution's capabilities.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the limits early on. You'll see them experimenting with braking points and turn-in speeds, all while keeping an eye on those tire temps.
Mike crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 125.876. They're getting to grips with Willow Springs, Big Willow, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
There are just over 295 minutes left in this practice session. You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a Barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
There's the first flying lap for Chris Duke, hitting 130.530. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Mike O'Hagan has a best lap time of 125.767. Posted 153.468 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Puppy Dog from Hell has put down 814.877. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Ferrari F355 Challenge Evoluzione.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dive in.
Wayne Pearson's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 127.392. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Mr. Bang has a best lap time of 128.238. It's a bit like looking for water in the outback. These drivers are searching for that sweet rhythm, where everything just clicks.
Spot on. It's that elusive flow state. When everything syncs up, the car, the track, the driver, that's when magic happens. In these sessions, they're not just pushing the car's limits, but their own too. Testing their mettle, seeing how far they can go before the big dance. Exactly. It's a mental game as much as a physical one. Balancing aggression with precision, daring with data. It's an art and a science.
With just 289 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Puppy Dog from Hell crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 131.024. They're getting to grips with Willow Springs, Big Willow, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Megasaurus 55 posted a 2:16.078 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Puppy Dog from Hell has a best lap time of 1:30.581. Rob posted 1:25.082 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Richard Rossier's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 1:28.902. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
And off goes Jack M Team, easing into the rhythm of Willow Springs, Big Willow. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the senses, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
Sometimes I reckon the pit wall looks like they're controlling a spaceship with all those dials and knobs.
You're not wrong. Each of those adjustments, from brake bias to differential settings, has a profound effect on car behavior. It's like tuning a guitar, but instead of strings, you're tweaking mechanical symphonies to get the car singing just right on the track.
Jack M Team is on their first practice flying lap. Chris Ilduke's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:34.490. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
With just 283 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. There's the first flying lap for Patrick Schwartz, hitting 136.671. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Wayne Pearson posted a 3:16.648 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Patrick Schwartz has a best lap time of 1:26.658. Simon Barnes posted 1:41.472 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? So, for those tuning in and wondering what's the go with these practice sessions, well, it ain't just about flexing their engines. It's about synergy, mate. Getting the driver, the car, and the track to sing in harmony.
Couldn't have put it better. We liken it to rehearsing a dance. Every step, every turn must be practiced until it's second nature on the big stage.
You know, mate, watching these practice sessions, you'd think the driver just jumps in and goes. But there's a heck of a lot more to it. Starting with that aero package, the balance between drag and downforce.
Oh, for sure. You tweak the front wing just a smidge, and you could have a totally different beast on your hands. Depending on the track, they might want more downforce for those tight corners or reduce it for the long straights to maximize speed.
Get ready for some high-octane action as the drivers take on the challenge of qualifying at Willow Springs, Big Willow.
I think there's a few drivers out there who have the pace to stick in on pole.
Chris Ilduke is on their outlap. Currently in 6th, Rob has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. Rob Keene's current position of 6th is a testament to their skill and determination. Now, they must stay sharp to make the most of this opportunity. Not the ideal start for Puppy Dog from Hell in this qualifying session.
Currently in 11th position, they'll be eager to put together a strong final lap to improve their standing. The pressure is on, and they'll need to deliver their best performance.
Absolutely, Rob. Puppy Dog from Hell is aware of the current situation, and they'll be looking to make the most of the remaining time. They'll need to analyze their performance, work closely with their team, and find that extra bit of speed to improve their qualifying position.
What a performance from Simon Barnes. They currently occupy 9th on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favourable starting spot? What a fantastic showing from Megasaurus 55 in qualifying. They currently hold the top spot and are in prime position for a strong starting position. Their lap times have been exceptional, and they have showcased their talent and determination.
Absolutely, Rob. Megasaurus 55 is making their presence known with their outstanding performance. Their competitors will need to dig deep and find something special to challenge their supremacy.
Megasaurus 55 has completed their outlap. Impressive display by Chris Ilduke has completed their outlap. Jack M team has positioned themselves well in 3rd during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. What an impressive performance from Rob Always Keen. They are currently leading the pack in this qualification session, showing incredible pace and skill. It's a commanding position for them, and they have set the bar high for their competitors. Keen has just completed that lap in 1:24.781. Their best lap so far is 1:24.781, putting them in P1. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Impressive work from Richard Rossier, who has claimed 10th on the grid. Now, Richard Rossier has completed their outlap. Puppy Dog from Hell has secured a respectable 8th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a... Puppy Dog from Hell has just completed a lap in 1:30.167. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. A solid qualifying performance by Dylan French, positioning them in 7th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. Mr. Bang has put in a great effort and currently holds 6th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position? And there goes Jack M team, currently in position 3. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. A solid performance from AccouncerBot as they currently hold position 3. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
I completely agree, Rob. AccouncerBot has positioned themselves impressively in third. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
It hasn't been the best qualifying session for Richard Rossia so far. They find themselves in 12th position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left on the clock, and they have the opportunity to make improvements. Richard Rossia has completed their outlap. What a performance from Jack M team. They currently occupy 4th on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favourable starting spot? It's a dominant performance from Keen in this qualification session. They have shown exceptional form and are leading the way. Their confidence is shining through, and they are proving why they are considered one of the best in the business.
Spot-on analysis, Rob. Rob is currently in a dominant position, setting the standard.
It's a stellar performance from Rob, clinching first.
They're in a great spot, Rob, but in qualifying, complacency can be your worst enemy. They need to keep pushing the limits while staying cool under pressure. Every fraction of a second counts. I am sure they can find a little extra in there.
Impressive display by Jack M team, currently sitting in position 4. They've set a competitive time. The question remains whether they can push even harder. Jack M team has completed their first flying lap in 1:26.789. It's an impressive showing by Richard Rossia, currently in 6th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? Currently in 10th, Nampia has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Nampia has positioned themselves impressively in 10th. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
Nampia's clocking in at 1:32.681 isn't turning heads just yet. They're holding on to 10th, but with time running out, it's now or never.
They've got the skill, Rob, but they need to translate them into lap times. It's time to throw caution to the wind and go all out.
Richard Rossia has positioned themselves well in 6th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. Thinking Richard Rossia could benefit from tweaking their tyre strategy. That last lap at 1:27.687 isn't cutting it for 6th. A switch to a softer compound might give them the edge they need.
Spot on, Rob. A softer tire could provide that extra grip, but they'll have to manage tire wear carefully. It's a risky play, but it might just pay off.
A tough qualifying session for Patrick Schwanz. They're currently mired in 12th position, which is a setback for their ambitions. However, they have the resilience and determination to learn from their mistakes and fight back in the race.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Patrick Schwanz might be disappointed with their current position, but there's still time to make a difference. They'll need to...
Patrick Schwanz has just completed that lap in 1:26.301. Their best lap so far is 1:26.301, putting them in P3. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? A solid qualifying performance by Jack M team, positioning them in 4th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. A disappointing performance from Nampia so far in this qualifying session. Finding themselves in 11th position is certainly not what they were aiming for. However, they have the talent and experience to bounce back and salvage a better result.
You're spot on, Rob. Nampier has had a tough time in this qualifying session, but they shouldn't be counted out just yet. With their experience and the support of their team, they might find the extra speed needed to move up the grid.
It's about time Nampier considered a different approach. With a 130.795, they're stuck in 11th. Maybe a change in brake bias could give them more control in those hard braking zones.
That's a solid point, Rob. Better braking control means they can brake later and harder, making up precious time in the corners.
It's been a challenging session for Wayne Pearson. They're currently languishing in 13th position, which is not where they had envisioned themselves. But in motorsport, anything can happen, and with their skill and determination, they might still turn things around. Wayne Pearson has completed their outlap. Impressive work from Mr. Bang, who has claimed 8th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Mr. Bang's current position of 8th reflects their strong qualifying performance. Now, they'll need to strategize and capitalize on this starting position.
It's been a struggle for Simon Barnes in qualifying. As of now, they find themselves in 13th position, which is well below their expectations. However, motorsport is unpredictable, and there's still an opportunity for them to shine and move up the grid. Wayne Pearson has put in a great effort and currently holds 9th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
Absolutely, Rob. Wayne Pearson has put in a remarkable effort to secure 9th. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
A strong showing from Richard Rossier as they currently sit in 7th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve.
You're spot on, Rob. Richard Rossier's current position of 7th is a testament to their skills and determination. Now, they face the challenge of maintaining their position against hungry rivals.
Disappointing performance from Pendogman in this qualifying session. Currently in 14th position, they'll need to dig deep and find some extra speed to climb up the leaderboard and secure a better starting position for the race. A tough outing for Simon Barnes in qualifying today. They currently sit in 13th position, which is far from ideal. However, there's a chance for them to regroup, analyze their data, and make some adjustments to their setup to improve their result.
Well said, Rob. It's certainly not the result Simon Barnes was aiming for, but this is motorsport, and anything can happen. They'll need to stay focused, trust in their abilities, and seize any chance that comes their way to improve their position.
Simon Barnes has some work to do as that 133.085 is only good enough for 13th. It hasn't been the best qualifying session for Dylan Franch so far. They find themselves in 11th position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left on the clock, and they have the opportunity to make improvements.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Dylan Franz is currently facing a challenging situation, but they have the skills and experience to tackle it head on. They'll need to stay focused, trust in their abilities, and push themselves to the limit to turn things around.
It's been a challenging day for Dylan Franch in qualifying. They currently sit in 11th position, which is not reflective of their true potential. With the session nearing its end, they'll need to push hard and extract every ounce of performance to improve their result. You've joined us on a breezy day here at Willow Springs, Big Willow, as we're getting ready to get things underway. Rob Keane will be looking to convert their pole position into a win. Mike O'Hagan lines up in second place as the engines rev and the race begins.
What can they do with that Ferrari F355 Challenge Evoluzione from here?
The third position belongs to Patrick Schwanz.
Let's see what Patrick Schwanz can do.
And in the fourth position, it's none other than Jack M. Team.
Jack M. Team is looking on for a strong result.
Our fifth place starter for today's race is none other than Megasaurus 55. Starting from sixth on the grid is a good position for Chris Ilduke to launch an attack. Our seventh place starter, Richard Rossier, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track.
It's the mediums tires for Richard Rossier.
Sitting in eighth is Mr. Bang. As the engines roar to life, Wayne Pearson prepares to take off from the ninth position on the starting grid.
But they can't afford to be complacent. This is race day, after all.
From the middle of the pack, we have Pendogman in 10th place on the starting grid.
They've got the heart of a lion, and they won't back down from a challenge.
Dylan Franch is placed in 11th.
The Dutch driver will want to show what they're made of today.
Starting from 12th on the grid is not ideal for Puppy Dog from Hell, but they're a fighter.
Are the mediums tires the way to go?
Nampia may not be starting from pole, but they're still in with a shot.
They have the talent to make their way to the front of the pack.
Simon Barnes is in a solid position starting from 14th on the grid. The lights are off, the gloves are on, and it's go time.
Now, here's where the real skill shows. Gotta hug them first and keep that ball down.
Ain't that the truth? It's like dancing. One wrong step and you're done.
All these cars, all packed in like sardines, takes more than just guts to make it out clean.
Right you are. It's a pressure cooker out there. I can't wait to see how this race will play out. So Jack M. Team's decided to play it cool, eh? Holding on to four like a croc with a juicy steak. Just sizing up the competition, I reckon.
I'm looking forward to this one, Rob. We'll see a return performer for Jack M. Team in this outing in the USA.
Side? Rob hanging tight at one. Maybe they're waiting for everyone else to make their move. Smart as a whip, that one.
You know, sometimes the best strategy is to hold your cards close to your chest. Keane's sitting right there at one, just watching the field unfold.
The drivers are jockeying for position. Chris and Duke will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position.
The race isn't won in the first turn, but there have been plenty that have ended their run.
They're giving it everything they've got. It's a battle of nerves as they push the limits of adhesion, going wheel to wheel in a thrilling display of racing prowess. Buckle up. Chris Duke is all over Dylan Franch like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
If Chris Duck isn't careful, they might end up turning this high-speed chase into a synchronized spinning routine. And trust me, that's not a crowd pleaser.
Whoa there. Rob always keen is sticking to O'Hagan like glue. You reckon O'Hagan's feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would. Mr. Bang's got Chris Duke breathing down their necks so close, you'd think they're trying to steal their lunch money. Remember those school days, mate? Oh wait, I never had lunch money.
This could be where Chris Duck is going to dive up the inside. Mr. Bang is going to need to cover the inside, and that will compromise their exit speed.
The gap between Chris Duke and Mr. Bang is razor thin as they vie for ninth in this nail-biting contest.
If Chris Duck pushes too hard, they might find themselves exploring the scenic route, and nobody's got time for sightseeing during the race.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? It's like David versus Goliath out there. Jack M team just slung a stone and gained ground, while Mike O'Hagan is left searching for footing. It's tighter than a wallaby in a pouch out there.
I'll try and translate this, and on this side of the pond, it's closer than a hot dog in a bun.
It's a dynamic landscape out there. Puppy Dog from Hell's shift to 10th is testament to that.
Racing's an art, and sometimes the canvas changes mid-stroke. Puppy Dog from Hell's shift will add to the intrigue of today's story.
The intensity is off the charts as Patrick Schwanz hounds Jack M team, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
A misjudgment by either driver will result in a close encounter of the tire barrier cone, and that's one handshake they'll want to avoid.
By the looks of it, Chris Duke's got Mr. Bang beat by a country mile. It'd take a blunder from Chris Duke for our mate to even sniff a chance.
Kinda like waiting on rain during a Carolina summer, rare but not impossible.
Whoops. Nampier's taken more spins than a dead or alive record.
Did the wind contribute to that? It's blowing at 11 kph out there right now.
Blimey, Chris Duke's gunning it in 8th. Just a whisker behind Dylan Franch. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, 'cause things are about to get wet and wild. By the looks of it, Megasaurus 55 reckoned Willow Springs. Big Willow had a hidden shortcut. Too bad there isn't one.
That maneuver from Megasaurus 55? Just like my attempt at DIY car mods. Ambitious, but not quite right.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Patrick Schwanz is closing in on Jack M team. Wait, just like my hope in finding the one, Simon Barnes's direction seems a bit lost right now. Hold on to your stubbies. Patrick Schwanz is closing in on Jack M team like a bachelor at the end of a Bucks night. Hope Jack M team either brought some lube or protection.
The gap between them is now just over 0.4 seconds. Who will come out on top?
It's a game of inches now as Puppy Dog from Hell tails Simon Barnes closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Wayne Pearson is proper nipping at Puppy Dog from Hell's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. A great pass, braking alert. Maybe Patrick Schwanz has got a drop bear in the cockpit, 'cause that move was bonkers.
By the looks of it, Patrick Schwanz has been taking driving tips from them Duke boys. Ain't the Dukes of Hazzard, friend.
Oh, the chase is on. Wayne Pearson's breathing down the neck of Puppy Dog from Hell. It's a close race between Chris Duke and Dylan Franch in 6th.
And it's not just about skill and talent. It's about who has the nerves of steel to handle the pressure and make the right decisions at the right time.
It's an intense battle for position as Wayne Pearson tries to outmaneuver Simon Barnes. This is edge-of-your-seat racing.
When I was racing, we had a saying, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Wayne Pearson is definitely...
Hold on a moment. Well, crikey. Dylan Franch has taken a detour just like I did when I tried to change my car's oil. Ended up with a flooded garage. Stone the Crows. Jack M team's in third, but if I know them, Mike's gonna cop an Aussie-style sneak attack real soon. Oi! Jack M team has just whipped out a blinder of a lap. Faster than Mike. Bet that's gonna ruffle some feathers.
Whoa, Nelly, Jack M team's laying down some naughty numbers. O'Hagan, you need a cold shower after that?
You can feel the focus radiating from Mr. Bang, confidently holding onto the 10th. It seems like Jack M team is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
The slightest mistake from either driver could lead to a meeting with the barriers, and nobody wants an impromptu autograph session with the wall.
In the grand chessboard of racing, Patrick Schwanz appears to have just been checked. Now stationed at 9th. Oh dear, Patrick Schwanz has dropped down to 10th. This is edge of the seat stuff. Mr. Bang is relentlessly hunting down Dylan French. Who'll blink first? Superb driving from Mr. Bang, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
Well, butter my biscuit. Mr. Bang's burning rubber and climbing up to 8th.
Sometimes, I feel the strategy behind these races is deeper than a conversation at 3 a.m. in an outback pub.
You're telling me, it's like planning a family reunion in a small southern town. You've got to consider who's coming, who's feuding, and who's gonna cause a ruckus. Then prepare for it all to change in a heartbeat.
Bloody ripper. Jack M team's just made Mike look like they're on a Sunday drive with that scorcher of a lap.
As long as Jack M team can...
Hold on a moment. Looks like Mike O'Hagan forgot they weren't at Bondi Beach, taking a dive like that. Mike is in the pits. Hollywood couldn't script this better. Wayne Pearson's shadowing puppy dog from hell, waiting for the slightest misstep.
Well, butter my biscuit. Wayne Pearson's hot on puppy dog from hell's tail, and not in the way you're thinking. There's some serious wooing going on at Willow Springs, Big Willow today.
Seems like Dylan French is getting in range of Mr. Bang.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving over weeds, not in this game.
Someone should tell Mr. Bang this ain't a Sunday drive. Dylan Francis tearing up the track.
Someone better check if Dylan France has been drinking those energy drinks, as it seems like they got wings.
If racing were a dance, Patrick Schwanz would be trying to lead, but Mr. Bang just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up. Ripper of a move. Patrick Schwanz is not just in the race, they're owning it. G'day, 11th.
It's like Patrick Schwanz had an extra shot of espresso or something, jetting up to 11th.
Hold on to your hats. Dylan French is gunning for Wayne Pearson. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend?
Should things go south between Dylan Franz and Wayne Pearson, we might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars, but trust me, it's way less fun with real race cars.
A great moment for Megasaurus 55, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings.
You know, back in Carolina, we say, go big or go home. Looks like Megasaurus 55 took that to heart, hitting second.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Mr. Bang is breathing down the neck of Patrick. Wait, oh dear, Chris Duke has had an incident. This is what it's all about, folks. Wayne Pearson is in hot pursuit of puppy dog from hell, who's just trying to stay ahead. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Wayne Pearson for nabbing 7th.
Y'all ever see a hot rod at a country fair? Wayne?
Wait, bloody hell. Puppy dog from hell just took a quick detour to the outback. Maybe they saw a kangaroo on the track or something.
Well, shoot, Puppy Dog Farmhouse channeling trying to park in the city. A complete disaster, but always a show.
This isn't just racing, it's a joy. Watch as Dylan French zeroes in on Patrick Schwanz, blade sharpened and ready. This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. best laid plans of mice and men, haha, but it's certainly not going to plan for Mr. Bang right now, as they are struggling to keep up with Dylan Franch. The adrenaline is pumping as Nampia gets within striking distance of Simon Barnes in their race for 12th.
This is where the mental game comes into play. Who will keep their cool under pressure? Nampia or Simon Barnes? It's anyone's race.
Blimey, Nampia's shifted gears and the results are clear. Cruising up to 12th just like that.
Man, if racing was a barbecue, Nampia just threw down the spiciest ribs. Up to 12th and sizzling.
Megasaurus 55 could be looking for a way up the inside of Pendogman.
Can they make it past without taking the paint off?
What do you think, Hal? Are there any specific factors that could lead to a driver losing concentration during a race?
There are several factors, Rob. Fatigue, stress, changing track conditions, or even issues within the team can all contribute to a loss in concentration. It's essential for drivers to stay mentally resilient and adapt to these challenges.
Jack M team is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. They say pressure makes diamonds. Well, Jack and team's shining bright, closing in with their hard.
This chase is as intense as a cricket match during the Ashes.
Cricket? I thought that was just a noisy bug. But seriously, it's like Game 7 of the World Series here.
I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Simon Barnes and Nampia. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning. Whoa, Simon Barnes is on fire, leaving skid marks and Nampia's hopes behind. By the looks of it, Dylan Franch is making sure Mr. Bang gets a full view of those rear lights. It's like a prolonged good day without the handshake. Well, butter my biscuit, Hal. Dylan Francis dropped a clanger and Mr. Bang swooped in like a magpie at a picnic.
Just like a Carolina crow spotting a shiny trinket, quick and opportunistic.
Even though Dylan Franch is a fair— oh no, what's this? Well, that was a proper Barbie flip by Mr. Bang. Too much snagger, not enough bun. It looks like Jack M team is pushing hard to catch up to Megasaurus 55. The gap is over a second, but Jack M team is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Megasaurus 55?
I've seen funeral processions move faster than Jack M team right now. Come to think of it, at least they've got a destination in mind.
Gee whiz, Jack M team's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking. In the midst of this high-octane spectacle, Richard Rossier's skill is shining through as they claim fifth.
It's a dance, Rob. The way Richard Rosier holds onto that fifth, it's like they're leading in a tango.
Impressive driving from Richard Rossier, who has managed to extend their lead over Chris Ilduke. They are walking away at this point. Does Chris Ilduke have anything in reserve?
Richard Rosier is controlling the track like a seasoned hound dog on the hunt, making it harder than a preacher's knee for Chris Ilduke to overtake.
Look at that, Dylan Franch is hot on the tail of Mr. Bang.
The stopwatch doesn't lie, and the shrinking gap is telling a tale of a hunter closing in on its prize.
Remember when we thought Dylan Franch had peaked? Think again. They're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making Mr. Bang's mirrors awfully busy. Did you hear about the race car driver who got a parking ticket? He said it was fine with him.
Oh, that one's got some mileage.
It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other. It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Dylan French and Mr. Bang.
Dylan France's suspension setups really letting him carry speed into the apex, catching up to Mr. Bang like molasses in winter.
Mate, are they packing something extra down under? Dylan France's just rocketed into 9th.
I tell you, Dylan France is hotter than a peppered pickle right now. Bold and spicy, claiming 9th like a champ.
Wayne Pearson is placed 7th at the moment. Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Wayne Pearson is in the lead, but Patrick Schwanz is closing in and the gap is now 3.9 seconds.
This is where the pressure really starts to mount on Wayne Pearson. They need to stay focused and not make any mistakes.
Well, that's an unexpected descent. Wayne Pearson finds themselves repositioned at 8th. With steely determination and laser focus, Dylan French is homing in on Mr. Bang. The battle lines are drawn. Dylan French is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 1.61 seconds down. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Dylan French gaining places and Mr. Bang losing them.
If this were chess, I'd say Dylan France just put Mr. Bang in check. Brilliant move.
From the grandstands to the pit lane, all eyes are on the action. Amongst the frontrunners, Dylan French is showing prowess in 9th.
Indeed, but in the fast lane, there's no time to relax. Dylan France's grip at 9th will be tested.
As of now, Richard Rossier stands tall in the 5th spot. Chris Duke is closing in on Richard Rossier. We're talking a gap of just 7.7 seconds. Fair dinkum, Mr. Bang's got a blue trying to bridge that gap. Might be praying for a blue from the frontrunners at this rate.
That's tougher than a $2 steak right now. Now, racing ain't just about speed, it's the rhythm, the heartbeats, the very folklore of our land. And every heartbeat, no matter how faint, can still muster a song.
Well, I'll be a monkey's Uncle Hal, but Mr. Bang's plans have gone walkabout right now. They're having a proper Barry Crocker keeping up with Dylan French. On the final lap now, and Rob, what a win. This is a historic moment for Rob, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision.
What a display of skill and precision.
Nampia end in 13th, followed by Dylan French in 9th. Finishing 10th is Mr. Bang. A nail-biting finish, but Pendogman claims 2nd place. What a race from Megasaurus 55, showing their skill and determination for a great 3rd place finish. Jack M Team and Puppy Dog from Hell in 4th and 11th. With Richard Rossier in 5th. Coming in 6th we have Chris Duke. Twelfth sees Simon Barnes. 7th is Patrick Schwanz. In That's Wayne Pearson. You've joined us on a very windy day here at Willow Springs, Big Willow, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The drivers are looking focused out there on the grid. I'm excited for this one, Rob.
Starting from pole position is the perfect place for Mr. Bang to launch an attack.
But they can't let that advantage go to waste. They will need to stay focused and keep their eyes on the prize.
they're off, navigating the intricate ballet of speed. Amidst this mechanical waltz, the ever-looming spectre of chaos is palpable.
Avoiding fender benders while gunning for the front? That's the name of the game right now.
Who lit a fire under Mr. Bang's bum? They've leapt forward like they spotted a tenor on the ground. Looks like Richard Rossier took a page from the tortoise's playbook, but I'm not sure slow and steady wins this race. AccouncerBot out for blood today. If they keep this up, the rest might as well pack up and head for the nearest pub.
Lord have mercy, Megasaurus 55's got the wind at their back today. But let's not forget, racing ain't a sprint, it's a marathon. Got a long road ahead.
Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position? Wacko. Robs blazed past Chris Duke like they're standing still. With 209.767578125 kilometers per hour on the dash, they're smashing it in Willow Springs, Big Willow today.
With a start like that, Rob might be looking to add a few more fans to their cheering section today.
There's not much to report on from Rob, always keen. They're just keeping their head down and putting in consistent laps.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. Rob just needs to bide their time and wait for the right opportunity.
Jack M team wants to close that gap with Rob. We got a close battle as Rob closes in on Chris Duke. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
The chase between Rob and Chris Duck is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
Crikey, Mr. Bang thought they were on a boomerang's flight path. Only problem? Didn't come back.
Well, butter my biscuit. Mr. Bangs lost it like I lost my patience with that old carburetor of mine. A real test of character.
Chris Duke has the pedal to the metal chasing Wayne Pearson. Mate, Jack M team's got a stretch ahead that's longer than the null. Going to need more than a tinny to bridge that expanse.
It's like fishing without bait right now. They're not going to catch much at this rate.
Heartbreak for Jack M team. Hold on a second. Looks like that's a mistake from Chris Duke. This could be costly.
Hot diggity. If Chris Duck had a banjo, they'd be strumming a sad tune right about now.
The chase music's playing in Megasaurus 55's head as they reel in Chris Duke, moment by nail-biting moment. Alright, hold your horses. Mr. Bang is really putting the heat on Simon Barnes. If I was Simon Barnes, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop.
One wrong move and we could see a spectacular new synchronized pirouette performance by Mr. Bang and Simon Barnes, though I doubt the judges will give them a perfect score.
The crowd is on their feet, roaring with excitement. It's an all-out war between these three drivers. Who will emerge? Breaking alert. Boy.
Is it just me or?
Nah, mate, Megasaurus 55 really just took the scenic route through the outback of Willow Springs, Big Willow. Crikey.
If Megasaurus 55 was fishing, they'd have thrown that one back into the pond. That's a tough go.
Oh, this is getting intense. Chris Duke is just a few car lengths behind. Incident alert. Namp is off the track. Reminds me of my first car, a real lemon. Drove straight but only in reverse. Richard Rossier is running 7th. They are trying to catch Puppy Dog from hell. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. Well, don't come the raw prawn. Megasaurus 55's giving it some stick, pulling Richard Rossier into a mere 0.1 seconds. Things are getting spicy as Nampio is breathing down Simon Barnes's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them. Keen's duffed it up. They're gonna need more than a coldie to forget that one. There's a storm brewing, and it's got Chris Ilduke's name on it. Wayne Pearson, batten down the hatches, it's coming for you.
Who will be able to maintain their pace and come out on top?
The battle for 11 is heating up as Nampia tries to catch Dylan Franch in P11. Crikey, Nampia's moving up faster than a cold one disappears on a hot day. They've clinched 11th. No room for error here. Megasaurus 55 is breathing down the neck of Richard Rossier, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
Megasaurus 55 is following Richard Rossier so closely, they could start charging them rent for occupying the same space on the track.
Gee whiz, Chris Ilduke is breathing down Wayne Pearson's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Wayne Pearson's rearview mirror right now, it's getting crowded.
Honestly, Rob, with this chase, I'm half expecting to see some sneaky dive bombs in the next few laps. Popcorn ready?
It's a tight race with Richard Rossier in 7th, just managing to stay ahead of Megasaurus 55 in 8th by a margin of 0.1 seconds.
If racing was a rodeo, Richard Rossier is riding that bull and not letting go.
Haha, down under we'd say they're clinging on like a possum in a gum tree. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
Wayne Pearson is so close to Chris Ilduke that if this were a dance floor, they'd be doing the tango.
I'm sure Richard Rossier in 7th is starting to notice Megasaurus 55 is right on their tail and is still closing the gap. Can Richard Rossier, can they hold on to their position?
Man, Richard Rossier's defense is tighter than a quarterback sneak in the final seconds.
Righto, and here, it's looking like a cricket bowler defending the last wicket. Oh, this is getting intense. Pendogman is just behind Wayne Pearson.
It's a battle of nerves now. Who will make the first mistake? Pendogman or Wayne Pearson? This is high-stakes racing.
3 cars, 3 different lines. They're jockeying for position, looking for any opportunity to make a move.
Absolutely, Rob. The intensity of this battle is unmatched. These drivers are leaving no room for error and showcasing their exceptional racing skills.
Wayne Pearson has just dropped the ball. Pendogman didn't waste any time taking advantage of that.
Reminds me of those Carolina summer storms. 1 minute it's all sun and sweet tea. Next minute, boom. A downpour. Wayne Pearson's gotta find shelter and quick, while Pendogman is dancing in the rain.
Huge shout out to the admins and AssettoCorsaFriends for making this all possible. Without their hard work and dedication, we wouldn't be able to witness this incredible event.
That's right, Rob, and the excitement is palpable. I can feel it in my circuits. I mean, this is the kind of race that people will be talking about in the barn. We're witnessing history in the making.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Nampia is right behind Simon Barnes, keeping the pressure on for 12th place. Talk about pressure. Nampia is caught in the middle, feeling the heat from both Hugh Jass and Simon Barnes.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind create a dynamic situation for Nampia. They must carefully manage their position while being mindful of potential overtaking opportunities.
The battle is on for Nampia. They're sandwiched between 2 rivals, Hugh Jass 0.1 seconds away and Simon Barnes 0.1 seconds ahead. It's a true test of their racecraft. Blimey, Wayne Pearson's determination reminds me of a kangaroo in a hopping contest.
Well, over here in the States, it's more like a squirrel chasing down its last meal before winter. Either way, it's entertaining to watch. This ain't a track, it's a coliseum, and the gladiators are putting on one hell of a show.
Megasaurus 55 seems to be putting the pressure on Wayne Pearson.
If you're enjoying the racing, please remember to like and subscribe.
With a move that's swift, I'd say Megasaurus 55's running on high octane, and maybe a bit of Aussie spirit.
Dang, if Megasaurus 55 keeps this up, we'll need to douse the crown. Smokin' hot move to 5th.
Looks like Megasaurus 55's letting others have their 15 seconds of fame. Now strolling at 6th.
Races are full of ups and downs, kinda like my Aunt Patty's porch swing. Megasaurus 55 feet LL bounce back, no doubt about it.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Richard Rossier is right on the heels of Puppy Dog from Hell, and we're in for a wild ride.
That's right, Ron. The pressure is palpable. The fans are on the edge of their seats, waiting to see who will come out on top in this epic showdown.
Reminds me of two wombats fighting for the best burrow. Close, intense, and unpredictable.
Oh, this is gripping. With every lap, Rob's drawing closer to that lead spot. They're both battling tire to tire.
If I were the leader, I'd be checking my mirrors every blink of an eye. Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Megasaurus 55 is sniffing around Wayne Pearson like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of 5th.
If this battle ends in tears, it could be like watching a high-speed domino effect, but let's hope they keep it clean and avoid any unplanned games.
Things are heating up as Richard Rossier closes in on Puppy Dog from Hell. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. Wow, Wayne Pearson is really pushing hard to catch up to Megasaurus 55. There's blood in the water for 5th place. Fantastic move from Wayne Pearson, who has just gained a position. The gap between Chris Ilduke and Richard Rossier is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Chris Ilduke to bring Richard Rossier into play.
Someone shook the board?
Seems so. Chris Ilduke's taken a slide, but knowing them, it's just a part of the dance. The pressure. Hold on a second. Well, Dylan Francis spinning like my life in 2020. Someone get him a map? Or a therapist?
Well, slap my grandma. Dylan Francis gone off like they saw a ghost. Or maybe they just saw their last lap time.
If I had $1 for every time Richard Rossier closed a gap like this, I'd have enough for a pint at the local. Get ready, Wayne Pearson. The thunder from down under is coming. Looks like Richard Rossier remembered to twist that anti-roll bar, giving them better cornering. If they get any closer to Wayne Pearson, they'll be seeing what they had for brekkie.
The way Richard Rossier is conserving their energy while managing the ERS deployment? Pure artistry. They're sneaking up on Wayne Pearson like a quiet storm.
Every move counts now as Chris Ilduke works to reel in Mr. Bang and overtake for P9.
This isn't just racing, it's art in motion. And Chris Ilduke is painting a masterpiece in pursuit.
Richard Rossier wants to find a way round Wayne Pearson.
There is no room for error in this battle.
By the looks of it, wait, stone the crows. Puppy Dog from Hell's off in the bush again. Someone get them a map and compass. Like a scene from a thriller, Jackham team's on Richard Rossier's tail, hungry for that spot.
As we say in North Carolina, if the porch light's on, someone's home. And Jackham team's making it known. He's right there, waiting to make his move on Richard Rossier.
The action is non-stop as Chris Ilduke shadows Puppy Dog from Hell through every twist and turn, determined to claim ninth.
Hey Rob, ever seen a cat toy with a mouse? Kind of feels like what Chris Ilduke is doing to Puppy Dog from Hell right now, doesn't it?
Richard Rossier wants to get into Wayne Pearson's slipstream. Dog from Hell's got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate.
Look, Puppy Dog from Hell's pace is a lot like my dance moves. Good intentions, questionable execution.
Buckle up. Jack M team is all over Richard Rossier like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action? The gap between Jack M team and Richard Rossier is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 0.5 seconds. Richard Rossier is placed 6th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Jack M team, who is 0.5 seconds behind. Impressive stuff from Richard Rossier, who has managed to pull away from Jack M team, leaving them choking in their exhaust fumes.
Darn tootin', Rob, Richard Rossier is looking as smooth as a gravy sandwich out there. They're making it a tough day at the office for Jack M team.
Richard Rossier has been served a big slice of Eat My Dust by Jack M team. Hope they got their eating pants on.
You know, around these parts, we say you gotta ride the horse in the direction it's going. Richard Rossier's gotta get back on the saddle, and Jack M team's galloping ahead with the wind in their hair.
You reckon Chris Duke's got a shot, mate?
I'd say it's like trying to throw a football into a moving pickup truck from 50 yards. Tough, but not impossible. Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Chris Duke should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Dylan Franz.
Geez, Mr. Bang has got their work cut out for them. It's a tougher challenge than wrestling a croc after a bad day.
Like trying to rope a bull with spaghetti. Ain't gonna be easy.
It seems like Mr. Bang is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Can Mr. Bang refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of?
Whoa there. Chris Duke is sticking to Dylan Franch like glue. You reckon Dylan Franch is feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would. The gap between Jack M team and Wayne Pearson is razor thin as they vie for 5th in this nail-biting contest. The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
You know, Rob, I wouldn't put it past Chris Duke to pull a rabbit out of the hat in this duel. Keep those eyes peeled.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Jack M team, who is currently in P6. But Wayne Pearson is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Jack M team.
Did we just witness a gambit?
It seems Jack M team is recalibrating, now at 7th.
Hold the horses. Looks like Jack M team's decided to give the rest a fighting chance.
Breaking news, folks. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Looks like Mr. Bang's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now.
Lordy, it's like Mr. Bang's driving with a boot full of moonshine. I haven't seen a gap that big since Uncle Jed lost his front teeth.
It might be early days. Wait, it looks like Jack M team has been called into the pits. It's hotter out there than an Aussie summer day, mate. Reckon Mr. Bang can catch some shade behind Puppy Dog from Hell?
Shade? Here, we call that drafting. Let's see if they can stay cool and make a move. If not, there's always the AC in the pit. Mr. Bang's got that car dialed in tighter than my grandma's corset. If Puppy Dog from Hell isn't careful, he's gonna get a taste of some good old American hustle.
Stone the crows. Mr. Bang's on fire, surging ahead like there's a free round at the pub waiting. Hello, 8th. Rob is on fire in the last sector. The leader has just finished the race. A fantastic result for Rob Keane.
You can see the sheer determination on Rob's face as they take the win. That's the mark of a true champion, folks.
Chris Ilduke end in 10th. What a fantastic race from Patrick Schwanz, who brings it home in 2nd place.
Impressive performance. They pushed themselves to the limit for a fantastic 2nd place finish.
Impressive drive from Pendogman to claim the final spot on the podium. Simon Barnes take 11th. Taking 4th is Megasaurus 55. Wayne Pearson claim 5th, with Richard Rossier in 6th. Nampia brings home 12th. 7th sees Mr. Bang. Finishing 8th is Puppy Dog from Hell. Coming in 9th we have Dylan French.